I mean, it looks like you haven't started it.
It will. It's always delayed.
Oh, this is waiting. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Well, I'm gonna have to cancel the call. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
You can hear me? Put it in the chat. Hubby is being technical assistance. Okay. Just resending the link. So sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me? Ah! Oh my gosh, thank you. I am so sorry, guys. Like, look at me trying to be high tech and shit, and then this is what happens. Like, ah! And of all the days, like, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just resharing the link, so just give me a second. Let me just let everybody know that I'm back. All right. As you guys come in, say hi and let us know what you're celebrating this week, and I will be back in business in 1 minute. Okie dokie. And one more. Hi. Let me know what you guys are celebrating as you come in for this week. One thing. What are you celebrating this week? Say hello. I deeply apologize for the interruption. Big round of applause for hubby saving the freaking day because I had a panic attack. My sibling is here giving me all this assistance. Okay. I think I've shared everywhere. If I haven't, that's okay. Hi! Oh my God. You guys are diehards. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Redo. Oh, happy Friday. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm Chrystelle, host of the Love and Meaning podcast, where we discuss all things about living a happiness forward life and creating the meaning in our lives with intention. This is Friday Night Live Dive. in chaos. This is where we dive deep into the topics of the podcast and really anything. So as you come in, let me know what you're celebrating for this week and say hello. I'd love to meet you people. Hi, Simp. Oh, Simp, I think you just missed all the fun. Welcome. So, as a reminder, the podcast drops every Monday at 8 a.m. EST on Spotify, here on my Goddess of Practicality YouTube page, and on Apple Podcast. And every Friday at 6 p.m. EST, we meet here for Friday night live dive. And there are things stuck under my chair. So my Friday night lights are going for our celebrations. This week, I am celebrating, I will start. I am celebrating the amazing coaching and mentorship that I have in my life. And the why will become much clearer shortly when I share. But I am so grateful and so proud of the guidance that I have invested in and the amazing heights that we're reaching together. Kathy is celebrating stepping into more assertiveness. I can be friendly, considerate, and unapologetically assertive. Hear, hear. Flash those lights for that. Can you see? Can you see I'm flashing lights for you, girl? Huge. What is everyone else celebrating? Let us know. It's Friday. A week is coming to a close. We are entering into the weekend. What are you celebrating? It can be very small. It can be huge. It can be medium. It can be absolutely anything, but there is something that happened in your week this week that you are proud of, or you are happy about, or you are taking the challenge of. So what is that one thing? Let's start this all out on the frequency of celebration. Let me know. Thank you. And again, thank you guys so much for your patience and your understanding. I think I did it. Like, I think it was me energetically, because I'm actually a little bit nervous this week. And I have a little bit of something to announce, and it's been coming. So I think all of the energy in me, like the universe, is a joker. Edie is celebrating being intentional to slow down and be present. Well, that was what last week was all about. And that is what I have. It's coming. I'm right there with you, Edie. I'm right there with you. Alana, that's my mom, everyone. My mom is here. So mom is celebrating. I am celebrating expressing my needs. Oh, expressing. This thing is in. Or should I say expressing my needs? Absolutely. This is huge. You're right there with Kath, because this is all about being assertive, right? Actually, it's also about being vulnerable. So you guys are all touching on my things, because I'm feeling quite vulnerable today. I'm also feeling quite deaf. I feel like I'm yelling because of these headphones, but thank you, hubby, for saving the day either way. It's a little, I feel awkward wearing them, but it'll have to work. I really feel like I can't hear myself. Can you guys still hear me if I do it like that? Can someone confirm that you can still hear me properly if I move it backwards a little bit? So, as I said, I am celebrating. Yes? Okay, awesome. So welcome, everyone. And how this usually goes is we really dive into the topic of the podcast this week. But I am being called to go a little off script. Not that there is ever a script, but I need to share something, and it's been coming slowly. So as you guys know, last week we talked all about rest, right? So how interesting, Edie, that this is what you brought up. Last week was all about rest. And I initiated the 2-week rest challenge. So I can't believe you literally started it without even knowing about the challenge. And we are 10 days in. And oh my God, oh my God, my whole world is blown up in a great way. So, for those of you that have been following along for a little bit, you know that I haven't been feeling very well. And for 3 weeks previous, my body was kind of just doing some really funky out of pocket things, and I had no idea what was going on with me. And my symptoms, I'm happy to say, have cleared up. And I initiated this rest challenge as a sign. I took it as my body is asking me for something clearly, and it's feeling the need to get loud about it. So I need to and listen. And I've come to the conclusion that that is indeed the case, that my spirit, my guides have been trying to communicate something to me. My inner being has been trying to communicate to me, and I haven't been listening or been unable to hear for whatever reason. And so my body took over and went into a state that forced me to have to pay attention. So I initiated the rest challenge under just I mean about a week in. Boom. So the main thing that I implemented was sleeping more and contemplation time, taking rest, taking breaks throughout the day, and literally slowing myself down, literally slowing down. And a flood, a flood, a flood of knowing and downloads and nudges and all of this stuff came through. So this is what has come through for me. I am still growing. We are all this is a forever thing, okay? This journey for me, this journey on personal development is a forever process. And I started this 10 years ago for me. This was to heal my own wounds. This was to better myself and my life in every way possible. And 10 years later, for me felt like that those layers of for me felt kind of complete, or at least that stage, and it turned into needing to be for others. And that launched me into having my social media, starting the podcast. These were the first layers of the nudge, the push towards others. And it is an extension layer of for me. The for me didn't feel like it could even complete fully for me until now it was for others. And that too is turning out to be in many layers. And it just shows me how this entire inner work process is. So these layers of for others, I am being called to a deep sense of authenticity. And the truth of the matter is, so for those that of you that like really know me closely or follow my work closely or listen to the podcast, you know that inner work is my true love. Like it is, I live and I breathe it. Like this is my passion, my heart, my everything. Like it is everything that really lights me up. But if you look at my social media, maybe just at a glance, I'm not sure that you would get that message. And what inner work has done for me is it has given me my husband. It has given me the most amazing, most fulfilling relationships in the world, friendships. It has given me 33 years of depth and love and growth with one person, and it's continuing to be better and better and better. I'm 39 years old and already have a 33-year-long strong relationship with my best friend that continues to grow. That didn't just happen. It's not just like a fantasy like in movies where you just, everything is perfect and you just like get each other all the time. No, it was a commitment, a choice being made every day. Inner work has given me the relationship that I have with my mom, who I consider one of my best friends. There was a time in my life when my father and I didn't even speak. And inner work gave me this sense of stability, like delving into myself, going deep into myself and discovering a core that is so rich and radiant and solid and beautiful, and falling in love with that and no longer needing all this external validation to hold me strong, but being able to rely on something on the inside of me that turned out that I didn't need anymore an apology from him. I didn't need a sense of like, well, that person has to go first, or it's not fair. If all of that fell away, I just held on to certain values and certain things that mattered to me, and then boom, my relationship with him re-existed. It just re-emerged without force. My sibling and I used to bicker nonstop. Like, we had a contentious relationship for a lot of my adolescence, and my sibling is the greatest gift on the planet, and we are able to be the tight-knit pair that we are because of inner work. It gave me my understanding of the impact that I have on other people. It gave me a true understanding of what I'm capable of, who I actually am. About 8 years ago, Mom, you can correct me, I don't know if this is right, 6 to 8 years ago, my sibling, my mother, and I, at my behest, started this chat, this weekly conversation that we would have. We were raised Catholic. My mother is a devout Catholic. My sibling and I, not so much, but we're spiritual. I tend to do this thing where, like, I get really into something, I'm super obsessed with it, and then I just need to tell everybody about it. I wasn't where I am right now with like an entire platform, but I have my sibling, I have my mom, and so I was like harassing them with like personal development, inner work stuff, harassing them, and for some reason, their beautiful hearts, I asked them if we could do this chat, and they said yes. And 8 years later, we are still doing that weekly chat. And I cannot tell you how we are entirely different people. The relationship that we have to each other and the relationships that we have outside, words can't even express. A couple of years ago, my mom, 9 years, it's been 9 years. So a couple of years ago, my mom, who is 72 years young, did us the honor and the pleasure of sharing with us on one of these chats that she is the most confident and the happiest that she has ever been in her entire life. And she was 69 years old when she said that. And she thanked us from the bottom of her heart. And that, to this day, is one of the happiest moments of my life. If 9 years in, my mother and my sibling and I can continue to deepen and grow. Sorry, 71. I'm sorry, Mama. 71. So that was like what? 69, 3 years ago. It is never too late It is never too early. It is incredible what can happen when people just decide that they're going to choose the way that they get to feel. They're going to take a couple more steps, be a little more intentional about the way that they think, and then the way that they feel, and then the way that they act in the world. And then their entire world starts to shift. Everything starts to change. And in this awakening that has happened to me in the past week with this rest challenge, I have realized that what my mom and my sibling and I have been doing for 9 years, what I'm doing in my heart and in my soul every day, is what I want to do all the time with everyone. This is what I'm meant to be doing, and this is the next layer of my other. So all that being said, my business will be shifting drastically, and I will now be focusing on coaching, and one-on-one coaching is officially open to the public. And I am going to be unapologetically stepping into what it is that my heart and soul has been nudging me towards, and I guess I've been stalling somewhat. But in the industry, they like to say that they're coming out of the spiritual closet. I am coming out of the coaching closet. I am lifting the veil. I am shedding my cloak somewhat in terms of being human design focused. Human design is one of the many tools that I have used in my inner work. It is just one of the numerous amounts of tools that I've used, and it is a magnificent one, but it is by no means the full package. And inner work, being able to do what my mom and my sibling and I do together with other people, is exactly what my soul is calling for. And clearly, my guides and me will not stand another minute of me not fully stepping into that. So my business will be shifting. I feel even a name change is coming. Things are going to be shifting, but one-on-one coaching is officially open. And if anyone is interested, in the show notes is a link to my 20-minute clarity call. Go ahead and book a 20-minute clarity call, and we will go from there. So that is my announcement. That is my awakening. This is what has come to me in just the rest period. I said that in 2 weeks, like the next episode is supposed to be the episode where we talk about rest, but like I couldn't wait a minute longer. I couldn't like it needed to come out of me. And I swear that's what probably broke the internet. That's what broke the audio. I even forgot, like I have no makeup on today, guys. As you can see, like I forgot my makeup, like everything just went out the window. I barely slept last night. Like I've just been like, my guides have been harassing me, but honestly, my symptoms have dissipated. I am feeling, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so appreciative of this. Yeah. And I feel like there really comes a time when one of the things that a coach, not even one of my one-on-one coaches, a coach had said in a class 2 weeks ago that stuck with me so much that I wrote it down in my notebook, but I didn't even have the answer. I had no clue why I wrote it down. And it said, she said, how are you hiding? And I was like, how am I hiding? Why do I feel this in my heart? But I'm like out there more than I've ever been out there, right? Sometimes, even when you are showing up when you've opened the Instagram, when you've said to yourself that you're stepping into the thing, you're not really all the way stepping into the thing. You know, there's ways that we can be hiding in plain sight, and it just goes to show to me that there's always another layer, another layer, another layer, another layer, and something about me truly stepping into this rest, which I'm never going back for. Like, that is it. I am living a projector forward life. This is it. I loud and clear, like, I hear you. I've got it. The wisdom that came through for me when I gave myself a minute to actually listen was mind blowing. And then this week's topic was all about happiness. And the two of the things combined just opened everything wide for me, because truly, 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 like I said in this episode, happiness started everything. Like, it was the core of it all. So we can get into that. We can get into that more in a minute, but thank you guys for hearing me out and witnessing me. I feel genuinely like a weight has been lifted off. Like, it's so amazing to not even know. You know what I mean? Like, something has been inside of you and you don't even know, because that's how good we get at creating stories or putting our blinders on. And sometimes your body is the thing that needs to tell you. You know, sometimes when you're not listening, your body decides it's going to let you know. And clearly they were letting me know one way or another, but I'm happy that I'm on the up. Everything is looking great. And I'm really, really excited for this next step. And thank you for coming along with me all along the way. So there are huge, amazing things on the rise. Things are going to look different. Things are going to shift and change. I'm not fully decided on everything, but my full coaching practice is open. So I'm very excited. And I'm secondary celebrating that. That is my secondary celebration, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise. But yes, my own coaches really held me through this transition period, because it genuinely felt like shaky and a little bit scary. As I felt the awakening come, where it was like, we are not moving another step until you fully recognize and admit what you're here to do and what you truly want to do. So here I am on the other side of the new transition. I want to know, Synth, what you're celebrating. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of it. And on this topic of anything here that we're mentioning, this deep rest, stepping into your own truth, because thank you, Mama. Stepping into your own truth, authenticity, because on the other side of being assertive, right? On the other side of me celebrating, expressing my needs, is authenticity. There is a podcast that I listen to called Spiritualized, and she speaks deeply on the idea of authenticity in a way that I've never heard before. And it really spoke to me. Only now am I fully understanding what that meant. But she calls for us to move away from this idea that authenticity is me, like, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna dye my hair blue if I want to, like being outspoken, or these kind of ideas. Is like, you show up unapologetic. That's authenticity. True authenticity is actually the you without the layers. It's without the shoulds. It's without the, I feel like I have permission to open this level of a business, but I don't have permission or the right to open that level of a business. Who do I think I am to do that? The authenticity is, this is who I truly am. This is what I truly desire. And I step into it, no matter what it looks like, no matter who believes you can't. That is what it is. And when we are operating from an authentic place, a truly authentic place, the universe aligns for us. There's a power there. And if you think about it, how true is it? Because when we see somebody else show up in their authenticity, don't you feel more even pulled in that direction yourself? I think it might be the most powerful thing on the planet. Melanie Ann Lair says that truth, the frequency of truth is the most powerful frequency. I think this is the same thing. Synth is celebrating, finally admitting to myself what I want in life. Why are you guys synchronizing with me? Why does this always happen? Yes! We're shining a light. We are shining a blue light for that. I was just thinking of her name when you said it. Oh, thank you. That's so wonderful. I hear you loud and clear, Cree. Yeah, I'm going to turn the lights up, okay? There is, I feel like until, and it's not that it has to happen all at once. You guys are watching me unfold, okay? In that sense, yes, I've been unapologetic in terms of like, at least I'm being brave enough to like, I show up in my mistakes. I show up in, whatever, my mess as it is. But I was still hiding a little bit, It's like the mess that I'm okay with, or the fears that I'm somewhat comfortable with, or the vulnerabilities that like don't really make me feel fully naked. You know what I mean? We can hide these from ourselves. And it's not that it has to be like ripped off all the time, but I fully understand now the power of when we are really attempting to always go to the deeper layer of authenticity. What's the next layer of authenticity? What's the next layer of authenticity? And I truly believe that sometimes the thing that holds us back from success is that holding back of ourselves from what we truly desire, what we truly want, because the universe is saying, it is here for you, but you need to step into it. So step into it and it's there, I'm so proud of you, Synth. And let's do this together. I am inviting everyone to be brave. It feels so freeing. Not only the fact that I no longer am in like crippling pain that I was in the past 3 weeks and feeling so exhausted I can't even speak. Not just that kind of relief, but like my soul felt like like there was a question, there was something niggling at me nonstop and I couldn't figure it out. And the reason I'm celebrating the coaches that I work with and the mentors that I work with is because it is through their brilliance. I have 2 coaches that I work with. And through their brilliant guidance, and it's not them telling me, they didn't tell me this is what it is. I asked my question and they gave me more prompts and reflections and questions to ask myself that got me to the core of it. And I had no idea that this is what was inside, was that you were holding back, Chrystelle. You were holding back, and this isn't really who you are. This isn't really what you want to do. And I'm not willing to do half-assed anymore. We're not willing to do a little bit of you. I want to be all of me. And to me, that is what inner work is. And that is what happiness started for me. So this week's episode, is called The Greatest Life Hack. And I shared in it that I believe that the greatest life hack is happiness. I started out my journey into any of this from a really dark place. And the question I asked myself was, how do I be happy? And I didn't know the answer. And so I set out on a journey to figure out the answer. And it truly was the right question, because it was in the discovery of the answer to that question that I developed a sense of inner stability, that I developed this idea. I was introduced to the idea, like I didn't even realize that all of this time, the reason I felt so unstable, so all over the place, so not in control of my own life is because everything that was good outside in my life had to come from outside of me. I needed external validation to show me that I was good enough, to show me that I was smart enough, to show me that I was pretty enough, to show me that I deserved good things, to tell me what I was allowed to do. Like everything, the way that I was in relationships, the way that I dated, like, of course I felt unstable and the relationships were unstable because I knew that I was completely reliant on that other person and the way that they made me feel for how I felt. So it feels crazy to take all of that power, all of that strength, all of that, and just put it in the hands of someone else. And then just be like, be careful with that. Watch out how you're holding that. There, all of me's in there. You've got all of me there. Just be careful. This is basically what I was doing for so much of my life without even realizing it. And then stepping in to that journey, to me, happiness came when I realized that I can make me feel good. That my validation was the best kind of validation. And then furthermore, I realized that when I started to feel a certain way about myself, all of a sudden more people around me started reflecting that to me. So was it me all along? I all of a sudden got all of my power back. And then there was no going back. There was no going back. So this kind of stability, inner solid place, and this doesn't mean that everything in life is amazing. It's not. Life is hard. Sometimes life is like cruel and mean. But the difference was that life happened and there was something inside of me that I relied on, something that said, it's okay. I know what we're here for. I know why we're doing this. I love me. I like me, you know? And then I could get through it. It wasn't that no bad things happened. It was just like I held me. And then I realized, holy shit, I'm resilient. And then when I realized I was resilient, I got brave. Like it's just this cycle, and it all started with like liking myself, you know? I think back to high school, okay? So one of my greatest strengths, I've always been good at making friends, okay? I've always been good at making friends. Yes, it is one of my gifts. So I think back to my adolescence, and I didn't have confidence in many things. Like I had confidence in like that I could dress nice and I could look cute and I could make friends, but I had a very strong sense that I was inadequate in many other ways, right? And lacking greatly in many other ways. But when I was around my friends, like I liked myself. I liked the me that I was around them. I was good at that. You know what I mean? And then life went on and I got a little bit older. And when you move out of adolescence, it's not all about friends anymore, right? It started to be more about like career, work. What do you want to do with your life and stuff? So my life wasn't so friend centered. There were so many other things. And I started to, I'm only in reflection, am I noticing that how I felt, that's when things started to go low, Why? Like, why is that? But now in my life, ever since I started inner work, everything feels solid and strong. I have rough days, but on the inside, it's solid. And in my reflection on this happiness stuff on this past week, I realized that what it was when I was around my friends then, I liked me. I wasn't around them. I didn't really like me that much. I started to do personal development. I started to delve into changing the way that I think, changing the way that I see the world, changing the thoughts, change the feeling, change the action. I started to realize I like me. I've stayed liking me. And things started to pick up again. So the common denominator there was I like me. And then the world seems to reflect it back. Life seems to reflect it back. That's a core feeling. That's inside of me. Nobody can take that away. And so then I had so much control. Is this making sense to all of you guys? So much control. And I want to clarify, like, the whole final end of the podcast, I went in on it. If you guys haven't listened, please take a listen to this, because like my heart and soul poured out. But I want to explain what I mean when I say I like me or I love me. It is not about me liking the color of my eyes or my body or how good I am at this or how good I am at that or how smart I am. It has nothing to do with that. That is not what I mean. I like me. I love me. The thing that I found was this love for myself, the way that I think God or the universe loves me, the way that you love an infant. Who looks at a newborn baby and is like, you're really good at doing the dishes, you're great. They don't have to do anything. They just exist, and you feel this overwhelming care. It's that looking at myself and how hard I've tried, at every time I fell down, at every time I felt alone, at every mistake that I made and beat myself up, at every time that I had the distorted thought that, you're not good enough, for every desire, for the little girl version of me that just wanted to play, the version of you that just, that loved swinging on the swings and creating bracelets and talking with your best friend on the phone for 6 hours all night long, like this zoomed out view at this human being who wants to love, who wants to feel loved, who wants to share, who wants to give, who wants to dance, feel, enjoy, experience that, looking at myself in that way of like, you beautiful creature, like you miracle sitting on a floating rock. I love you. That kind of view of myself gave me such a foundation where like a lot of the outside stuff didn't matter, but I got to change it for the better if I want to, but it wasn't who I was. Just for being. And then I'm telling you, looking at myself in that way, like the way that God would look at me, it became impossible to not look at other people in the same way. So this doesn't mean that I don't get a short temper or be mean or be snappy or I'm not human. But I can catch myself and zoom out and look at another human being for all of their existence, for all of their desires, for all of everything that they're trying to be in the world, and feel love for their simple existence and what they're trying to create here. We're all just trying to create, right? That place, that was the foundation for me. I would love to hear what you guys are thinking. What happiness means to you, what foundation is for you, how any of this resonates. That was very much the core. And then from there, it's literally anything. Anything is possible. Anything was possible from that place. Anything was possible from that place. Every little step that I've taken since then, there was that at the core of it. And so truly, I do believe like a starting out place, the ultimate life hack is happiness. It's happiness. It's feeling. You're making me feel very emotional right now. I mean, I think it is an emotional thing, and I have cried nonstop. I think the only reason tears aren't coming right now is because I have cried nonstop for the week in all of these realizations. But we tend to do this. We look at ourselves in this so microcosm way, and we nitpick and we tear ourselves apart, and we we get into every eyebrow hair and just get at it. And it's like, you never needed that. The moment that you were born, somebody looked at you in awe and wonder. And I believe that that is our job. I believe that that is your job as we step into adulthood, as we step into personal responsibility. It is our job now. It was our parents' job in the beginning, but then even then, do you realize that, like, and it's not to hurt, but as we start going to school, that easy way to get love from our parents, it doesn't feel the same. Now I have to do things for praise. Like, the shift starts to happen. I believe that shift is moving away less and less and less from others, your caretakers, and more onto you. It becomes our job to look at ourselves with awe and wonder. It becomes our job to look at ourselves in that way of, like, you freaking perfect little adorable goofball, you know? You perfectly imperfect human being who's just trying to do your freaking best all the time. Okay, now I'm getting emotional. You don't have to do your best all the time. Nobody has to do their best all the time. But can we give ourselves the grace and the foundation to look at ourselves as the miracles that we freaking are? Like, how does a planet even float like that? Like, how is the entire universe in existence? Can we look at ourselves? Because scientifically, we're made of the same stuff. You don't zoom out and look at another planet and say, she's really fat. You don't do that. You are a piece of a planet. You are stardust. We are stardust that walks and talks and tries to make something magnificent out of the time that we have here. So let's just start doing that. Let's just start doing that. And we get to be all the things in between, all the messy aspects. Every part of it gets to be okay because we're human and that's what it comes with. But my favorite quote from Melanie and Lair, what a beautiful way to look at ourselves. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes from Melanie and Lair is, I was born worthy and nothing has changed. Let's freaking move away from this idea, like, once and for all, that worthiness is something that you're working at for one more second in your life. Let's just give up on it. We're not working towards being worthy. I'm letting you know, in case you didn't know, right now in this moment, you are worthy. In this moment, you already are. So let's stop working towards worthy. But maybe we can start working towards, who are we who are we really? Who is your authentic you? Sharing your needs, being more assertive. Have an idea of what it is we want for ourselves and we move towards it. We don't need the third step. It's like what do you call the in-between person? Like, instead of just going straight there, you call someone else to do it. Like, do we need the middleman? Do we need the middleman of worthiness? Can we drop the middleman of worthiness to do the things that we want to do and get the things that we want out of life? We can just stop. And I'm not saying that it happens in a second, because I legit, guys, it has been 1 year. And I think that is kind of amazing that I just hit my 1 year anniversary of opening my Instagram, of putting myself out there. It took me 1 year of being out to realize I'm not out. I had layers of deconditioning to go through, and that's freaking okay. It is totally okay that this is how long it took me. I am not messing with the idea of it's because I wasn't worthy. We all have conditioning. We all have stories. It is going to take us time and layers to break them down and get through them, but they don't start shifting until you start shifting, until you start moving. So whatever that next step is that you need to do, whatever is calling towards you for your inner work, and I highly recommend jumping on the rest challenge with me and Edie. I highly recommend it because something happens in quiet space, guys. Like something happens in that space where we get quiet with ourselves. Listen to yourself. You are wise. You are deeply wise. When I was saying that I am giving all praise to my coaches and my mentors, they didn't tell me any of the answers. They helped me hear me. And good coaching does that. This is what I love. And this is what I'm being called to do, is to help you, help others hear more of you. What is the real you saying, asking for? Because we are so wise, but we become very adept at being deaf, very adept at not hearing. But this apparatus, our spirit, it communicates with us in many ways. I have been having bad dreams for weeks before I wasn't feeling well. My husband can attest to that. And I have a feeling that that was the beginning of it, but I didn't get the message. Fine. I didn't get the message in the dream. Apparently, I needed to get the message with my body saying, we can't move. That's fine. However, I needed to get the message, I got the message. Here I am. I'm choosing to decide that this is the perfect moment for me. And yes, it feels scary. I'm not scared. I'm just not willing to regret not doing what is truly myself. Because at the core of me, in the center of me, there is this, it's okay. Whatever happens, it's okay. And I've got you. I love you and I've got you, no matter how this goes down. But I would hate to say that I never tried. That I refuse to live with. Elena says we need to block out the noises in our heads and start listening to ourselves. Amen. Amen. And I like that you said head, because it really is like head chatter. The wisdom is somewhere else. It's not actually our head. And the thing that I've been doing, I'll get more into that next week when we really do talk about I'm going to let's go deep into the rest challenge. I'm going to tell you all the things the results that have been for me, because it's been mind blowing. Literally 10 days in, I'm reborn. I'm a new person now. 10 days of resting. But the wisdom in us, it's in our entire bodies. And the beautiful thing about human design is that it really shows you which aspect of your body in the body chart does your wisdom come. For me, it's my spleen. Mom, for you, it's the same. We're both splenic. My mom and I are both splenic projectors. It is for us, really, our wisdom shows up in this quiet voice that comes in like, and then it goes. So the thing is, if we're too busy doing the runaround in our head, we don't hear it. We miss it. The message comes and it goes and it falls on deaf ears. And this isn't to say that it won't come back. It will keep coming back. But you need to get quiet to hear it. And quiet means different things for different people. But for me, I needed to literally slow down. I needed to literally stop and unplug away. One of the ways that I was numbing myself was like overconsumption of content. And I don't mean like YouTube. It's like, it could be like, listening to other coaches, audiobooks, like it's great, but there's a too much. I need to balance taking in wisdom. This is what we're called for. Taking in wisdom. So like we come here, we chat together, we take it in, and then go and let it simmer in you. Let it wash through you, and let your own wisdom come through. New questions will arise, and then we come back and we talk about it. New thoughts, new contemplations. That is actually truly the work, and that is how we really become our authentic selves, with ourselves and in a community. But we have to hear ourselves. It needs to be both. It's just like I did the for me, and now it's not complete. The for me is not complete without the for other. It's the same way that we need to be listening and then being quiet, listening to ourselves, taking in from. It's all balance. It's all balance, and that is rest. Rest is all about balance. Alana says exactly. So these last two episodes really shook me up, man. It shook me up, but I'm really committed to being the work. Like the way that I choose to want to do this is I'm doing it and I'm sharing it at the same time. It's a continual process. And I think that when we do that, not only do we grow so much, but you don't know the impact that you're having on other people around you. You don't know the impact. I have the joy of having my mom and my sibling actually share with me. And I get to see the results of what we do together. But I'm sure there's people I interact with on a daily basis. I'm sure there's people that you interact with, in a passing way during the day, and you don't know what your positive attitude or your different outlook or your ability to look at them like a human when someone else just kind of overpassed them, and you looked someone in the eye and you said hello, or you said, I hope you have a good day. You don't know what you did for that person. But we really become these beacons of love and happiness for other people when we have it for ourselves. That is my soapbox for today. How are you guys feeling? Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Are you with me? Do you agree? Do you oppose? And I know that this can feel, it's not my intention if any of this feels confronting. I hope that you can hear I'm speaking from total conviction in my heart. I'm speaking from what I've lived for myself and what I've seen for other people. And I truly, 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 truly believe that really stepping into who I really am is the best thing for every single person around me. Thank you guys. Let me make sure that I'm seeing the live chat. Totally agree, of course. I'm on the same journey. Always and forever, Mama. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Thank you for wading through that disastrous technical difficulties. Thank you, my wonderful husband, for saving me. Thank you for witnessing me in my unveiling, because that was a big deal for me. This is big. This is big. But there's no other way. It's all the way. It's all the way. Like, I'm not doing this a little bit. I'm doing this a lot of it all the way. And I would love to have you guys bear with me all along the way. So thank you so much. Remember that new episodes drop every Monday, 8 a.m. EST, here on the YouTube page, on Spotify, on Apple Podcast. Please give this live a like and share with anybody that you think would be interested in hearing it. Please feel free to share the podcast episodes. Let me know what they mean to you. Write your questions, write your comments under it. Anytime that you write a comment, I will bring it up in the next live. This is an interactive, this is a space that we get to have together, that we get to share in together. So please, I love hearing from you, and I would love if you're called to it that you share. Every Friday here, 6 p.m. EST, I will be live. I love you guys so much. I'm wishing you the most beautiful weekend. A lot to contemplate on today. I know there's a lot to contemplate on. I think the main question I'm going to put out to you, because it was the question that I think really sparked the awareness for me, was, where are you hiding? And don't force it. Like Alana was saying, like, this is not about head. I don't want you to think about it. Contemplate on it. And the difference between thinking and contemplation is contemplation doesn't need an end. It doesn't need an answer. There's no force to it. It's you allowing an idea to run through you, to sit with you, to delve into you, and let other ideas follow, and let other ideas follow. Questions come, more questions come, deep, something deeper and deeper and deeper. You can contemplate with other people. It's an open-ended discovery. It's like an excavation. It's really an experiment. It's having this open-ended conversation with yourself about a topic, and you will be amazed as to how wise you are. Not when we need to find the answer, but when we pose a question to ourselves and allow the answer to show up. It shows up in the most interesting ways. You will be amazed. I'm sure all of you guys know this, but like, I'll do this sometimes, ask myself a question, leave it alone, get up the next day, and the first person that I interact with the next day literally answers my question that I didn't ask them. Or I'll dream about it. Or I'll turn on the TV and like it will be there. Or I'll open up like, a coaching program, or I'll meet with my coach. And before I've even said anything, she's like, you know what I was thinking about? So contemplation is this beautiful thing. It's this loving, open conversation that we get to have with ourselves and the divine and your guides. So contemplate on where am I hiding? And I want you to share it with me. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. I love you all. I wish you the most wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week, I hope. Bye.